When I'm walking down the street, people are looking at me. What they see is a masterpiece created by the King. I am different by design, and I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
You're listening to Be Inspired, your one-stop shop for inspiration. Visit us online at www.beinspired-online.com. Stay tuned for your inspiring show. Now, here's your host, Erica.
Welcome, Be Inspired listeners, to the latest episode of the Be Inspired Cafe. Now, I'm so excited, thrilled, and just over the top about who we have in the cafe today, because if you've been struggling with your image on the inside out, then this is going to be the answer to your prayers, okay? Because on the call today, not only is she the recognized fashion editor for the Be Inspired magazine, she is also a businesswoman and entrepreneur in her own right. She is an image coach, a brand strategist, and so welcome with me into the Be Inspired Cafe, Shekina Moore. Shekina, how are you doing?
Fabulous. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Gosh, thank you for coming. So I want to jump right in with you. For those of you that are not familiar with Shekina, definitely go to the Be Inspired website, and her links will be all over the site so that you can go, and she'll share with you more of her information as well. But Shekina, for those that have not come into contact with you as of yet, can you give us a little bit of background about you and how you came to become an image coach and a brand strategist?
Sure, no problem at all. First and foremost, I give all glory, thanks, and honor to God, because He just has a way of, even when you think you have things figured out, showing you that His way is the best way, and not only the best way, but the only way. And so I truly give it up to Him, because without Him, I definitely would be doing something contrary to my gifting. For those of you who don't know me, I actually used to be in a teacher, an educator, and also a school administrator. And I ended up going into that field because I love the French language, and I loved everything about it, having lived in Belgium for 6 years. But I just really didn't know. I wasn't really sure myself as far as what field I should go in. And I've always been one of those type of people that was an overachiever. I've always excelled. I was always walking the stage for the honor roll in high school. I was always the leader of the committee. I was the head of my ROTC squadron. I was the one that led the student relations committee. I was the captain of my basketball team. I won all types of journalism contests in school, and so I was always very active.
Oh, wow.
I did say things, and coming into my true gifting, it took me stopping and listening to people who didn't even know me speaking into my life. And they would always tell me, wow, as I would walk the hallways of school, you just seem like you would be this big-time person in the fashion industry. I mean, you always help, you make people shine. Like you just walk in the room, and people feel like they automatically need to elevate. And it was at that point in 2008 that I decided to launch my business.
That is so, oh my gosh, that's so powerful. I know so many of us can relate to that, because for one, people will try to push you down a certain path, but when you really sit back and start to just understand those things that come natural, it's a big thing. And for me to witness you, Shekina, to know that you would have excelled no matter what you were doing. I mean, you were doing amazing in anything. So for you to, like you said, step back and listen to what God had to say for His path and His purpose for you, and then to see you flourish in that, it's so inspirational. So what would you say to that woman? Because I want everyone to hear about the new challenge that you have. She's walking around and she's just feeling blah. Maybe she hasn't really identified her area in fashion, or maybe she's just kind of on the fence about self-image, and that's, an area that many people struggle in. How would you bring that woman from that blah place, and then tell us more about the challenge that you have going on right now?
Well, very interesting you asked, because I did write a book. It's entitled Blah to Fierce. And the way I was inspired is also interesting, because there again, God has a way. So I actually was inspired to write Blah to Fierce because I was in a blah space. I was in a space of really just not feeling like Shekina. I went from having this awesome career, in which I had literally spent 10 years of college. I invested a lot of time, energy, and money into my career. I was doing very well. I had established a certain lifestyle and was headed to even greater platforms. And then there's this, okay, God, now you're taking you're taking me down these deviations, and I'm like, okay, I don't know myself anymore. Like, I'm so used to this identity, and like, how do I really establish myself now? And how do I get out of this funk? Because now I've had these kids, and that's a new turn. I have running this business. That's a new turn. And I just found myself in this funk. I had gained 77 pounds. I had moved to a new city. I didn't have any friends. As I was going through business, nobody wanted to really embrace me anymore. They were cool as long as I was doing the norm stuff. But as soon as I started having dreams and wanting to do revolutionary things, they got uncomfortable. So I knew that if I was in this funk, that there had to be other women like me in a funk. And so I decided, instead of, just clamming up and becoming a hermit in this city where I didn't know anyone, that I would take my experience and put it in a book so that other women could be blessed. And so that's what I did. And from the book, Erica, came this challenge, and it's called the Fierce Challenge at thefiercechallenge.com. And this is where I literally walk women through the 30-day challenge that the book outlays, but it gives it more of a personal touch, so I really can facilitate it for them, really allow them to – it creates an atmosphere where women can not only hear from me, but the energy alone from other women that are doing this thing with them, let them know they're not in it alone, but it gives them practical steps they can take in 30 days to literally get from blah, this place of boredom, living beneath who you are, selling yourself all these stories about, the devil plants things in your ear, about who you could have been if only you had done this, and if you could take some things back. All that negativity, that negative self-talk, we diminish that, and we literally go through, like, week by week by week of steps. And by the end of the challenge, we should see tangible results, measurable results. And so excited about it. We actually just had the first cohort to take the challenge, and we're in week 3 right now. So as soon as I get off of this out of the cafe, I'm going to be working with those ladies.
I know, and I hate to let you leave the cafe. Okay, so this is my last question then. For those that are listening, because I know that it's already just 3 weeks in, I know you already have some powerful stories. Could you share with us just one small thing that has really pushed you in this Blog to Fierce challenge, maybe something that a woman has shared with you, or just something that you've been able to witness since you started this that has been encouraging, that you think would encourage those that are listening, that are feeling very blah right now?
Yeah, I mean, there are some people that actually there was one woman in particular who actually came out of her shell because, she, sometimes we have traditions, and mama didn't do this, and aunties didn't do this, and because you didn't see that growing up, you automatically think that it's something you can't do. But your goals may be different than your mom's, and your goals may be different than your aunties. And so we really walk through really starting to define, okay, what is it that you want, who are you, where are you going, and how are all these little decisions you're making adding up to where you want to be, because you're not going to attract but so much looking any kind of way. So women have women have had some true aha moments, even down to wearing makeup. Some of the hang-ups we have and the myths we tell ourselves, we had to dispel those things, because you want to look polished and you want to look like you are worth the money that someone's going to put up, because people will pay you less than what you're worth when you don't look like you want the money. You have to look like you want it, and then people will meet that standard. So that was one of the major aha moments that not just one woman had, but several women had. And I just feel blessed to have been able to be the conduit.
Wow. That's powerful, because, and I know it's this age-old argument about whether women should wear makeup or do this and that. And, I mean, it really is so true that you said that. People will treat you how you present yourself. And with us, just as a Christian, walk in excellence. Be a good example of God. Be a good representation, and not, anything less than who you are, because you're beautiful, just the way that you are, for those that, might argue that some people, well, what if I'm not whatever? It's like, no, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. But why not enhance that and just be a good steward over you? That's why I love what you're doing, Shekina, because you push women to do that, to walk in, that much. Beauty on the inside and out.
Definitely.
Wow.
And I thank you for everything you do as well.
No problem. So just really quickly, could you share with those that are listening the best way that they can get in contact with you, sign up for the challenge, and support everything that you're doing?
Sure. If you're interested in the book, the book is called Blocks of Fears. It's found at www.stylingatl.com. Just check out the Style Toolbox. You'll see all the different books and self-help things we have for women. It's all about empowering women. And then if you would like to be a part of Cohort 2, we actually just opened up the registration yesterday on September 15th for our incumbents who will be participating the month of November. So if this is something that sounds like you need and you want and you deserve, go ahead and register. Check us out, www.thefiercechallenge.com.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again, Shekina, so much for being in the Be Inspired Cafe. We want you back. We want you to come back. So
thank you so
again.
Much. Awesome. Thank you.
You're listening to Be Inspired, your one-stop shop for inspiration. Visit us online at www.beinspired-online.com.